trying to filter water or do anything. You can't do it with these on. So they were good to sleep in when it was really, really cold. They were okay around camp, but you just really cannot get them wet. So I will probably be looking at a heavier pair of gloves because those did not quite cut it. This is just a buff, which is just kind of like a little tube. I actually cut this one in half because it was too long for me. I wear these around camp after hiking all day with my baseball cap on. I wear this up here with my headlamp on. It kind of protects your head from that headlamp, digging into your forehead. Of course, you can also use these around your neck when you're cold. You can do all kinds of things with them. When it was longer, you could actually, like some people use them to cover their face when they're cold. Like you could do that. You can do it up here. I mean, there's literally like 100 ways to wear this thing. But anyway, those are great to have. You can use it as a pot holder. Tons of uses. These are Darn Tough socks. Can't say enough good things about those. You got to have Darn Tough socks. This was a little beanie I bought from Smartwool, I think. It's like absolutely nothing to it. When it came in, I was like, what the heck? This tiny little thing isn't going to do anything. It was perfect. I wore it around camp when I was cold, and I slept in it. And it's just the teeniest thinnest little piece of material, but it worked. I was surprised. That was one of the shirts I hiked in. I did bring a pair of shorts that I never wore. It didn't get warm enough to wear shorts. There's the other half of that buff. And then there's my compression sleeve that I was supposed to wear to drive in and to hike in, but I did not. And then all that in a super lightweight ditty bag. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is the jam I bought for my daughter. I bought her jalapeno pineapple preserves and jalapeno raspberry jam as just a little thank you. I forgot I threw those in there. I got those at the lodge at Enota. This looks like dirty clothes. So this is my socks I wore around camp. So normally the Darn Toughs and the Injinjis that I wear to hike in are just like the up to your ankle. For around camp, I wore the taller Darn Tough socks, just because it was so cold. What is this? Oh, this is my, okay, you don't need to see my underwear. This is my Smartwool shirt that I bought. This is a base layer. I think it's 150. Merino 150. This was awesome. It's just a long sleeve black Smartwool shirt. I wore this every night around camp and to sleep in, along with a pair of just like fleece kind of joggers. I think it was amazing. Yeah, definitely very impressed with that. I don't even know where my joggers are. They must be in a different bag because I drove halfway home day before yesterday. I got like my 3.5 hour leg of my trip turned into 6 hours driving through Atlanta. Well, Atlanta wasn't the problem. It was before that. Anyway, so I don't know where a lot of my, I have like an overnight bag for that and everything. So I don't know where all that stuff is. Anyway, this is my puffy. This is a Mountain Hardwear down jacket. Very nice quality, very, very warm. Absolutely nothing to it. I mean, it's super duper light. Wore this mostly around camp when it was freezing cold, when we were trying to get our tent set up and fix our dinner and stuff like that. I did try to sleep in it one night, but because of the material, it's super slippery, and my sleeping bag is super slippery, and I was on a little bit of a slope that night, and I just kept sliding off my sleeping pad. So I actually ended up taking this off and putting this handy dandy fleece back on. But this is just one of those essential items that you need when it's cold, when you're hiking, is a down puffy. This is my Nemo sleeping pad. It's a Nemo Tensor insulated pad. So this is, you blow it up, and this you lay on the ground, and then you put your sleeping bag on top of it, so it keeps you warmer because you're off the ground. It says it's about 4 inches thick. I don't even know if it's that thick. But, oh, look, my bag's got holes and stuff in it. Yeah, you went through a lot, didn't you? This thing's amazing. Like, I cannot believe how comfortable I am sleeping basically on the ground in the freezing cold weather on this little tiny blow up mattress. They're not cheap, they're quite expensive, but well worth the investment to get a good sleep pad. So Nemo makes really good stuff. So that thing is awesome. This is so funny because this is a camp towel. It's just a big towel. It's about, I don't know, it's literally like the size of a towel. I mean, it's huge. I picked this up at Walmart like, I don't know, a year or so ago. And, you know, it rolls up real small and everything. It is by no means good quality anything. It's not lightweight. It's not anything. It's got like this little thing here. You can roll it. It was a very much, I don't know kind of thing. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to bring it or not. Was I really going to use it? Is it kind of a luxury thing? Like, what do you even need that for? I didn't even remember that I grabbed it last minute because I had a whole bag of I don't know stuff. I had stuff I knew I was bringing, stuff I knew I wasn't bringing, and then I don't know if I should bring it or not stuff. Well, I guess I decided to bring it at some point. I don't even remember. Heather ended up with the exact same towel, and she brought hers too. And I cannot even tell you how awesome this thing is. We used our towels for everything you can think of. If I was tired and wanted to just sit and there was not a great place to sit, I would lay this out, sit on this, and then put my sit pad, that kind of fold up thing, that purple thing, this thing here. I would put this, I would be able to hold it out and put it behind my back, like to sit up against a log or something. So that way you're not like sitting on the ground. I would spread my towel out, dump all my bear can contents out, and figure out my food for the next day, so I wasn't just dumping my food on the ground. I used it as a kind of a mat in front of my tent. I would have one part of my vestibule staked out. I would have my towel laid out front. I would have my backpack and my shoes in my vestibule. And then I would have my little sit pad put out right in front of my tent door. So that way when you're getting in and out of your tent on your knees, you have that there and the towel to kind of keep everything clean. So I never had any dirt or leaves or anything in my tent. The only problem with the towel was when it got wet the night it rained, it got super, super muddy and it took forever to dry. So I spent the whole next day, every time I took a break, taking my towel out, laying it out on a rock or something and trying to get that darn thing to dry. And it was several days before I could wash it. So it had like caked on mud on it forever. But I don't think I will ever go hiking without a camping towel. I will upgrade to a lightweight, quick drying one. But that thing was surprisingly awesome. I think I even laid down on it a few times before it got muddy, I think. But anyway, I think the only thing left in here is my sleeping bag. And this is one of those things where I bought a Nemo sleeping bag. It's called a spoon-shaped bag. It's synthetic. It's not down. It has a hood on it, which is kind of cool. And inside the hood, it has a little sleeve for a pillow. So here's the hood. So you can either stick your head up in there if you're freezing cold and cinch it down, or I always kept my pillow in there. I have a blow-up camp pillow. The sleeping bag was good. I mean, it definitely kept me mostly warm. I would definitely need to upgrade to go in anything colder. Heather had let me borrow a sleeping bag liner that you actually put inside of that, and it's almost like a just a real thin little extra sleeping bag, and you just kind of get that over your feet and pull it up over you, and then you're down inside your sleeping bag. So it's kind of like another little, keeps your sleeping bag cleaner, adds about, I don't know, good 10 or 15 degrees of warmth. If I'm not able to upgrade my sleeping bag, I will definitely buy a liner, a sleeping bag liner, probably a fleece one or something that will give me quite a bit more warmth, because it was pretty darn cold. And one thing that I don't have in my bag that I do highly recommend is toe warmers. Toe warmers, hand warmers, something like that. I got the stick-on, Heather let me have several actually, of the stick-on toe warmers, and you just peel the adhesive off and you stick them onto the bottom of your sock, and they keep your feet warm all night. I honestly don't know if I would have even lasted 1 or 2 nights without those. That's how cold my feet were. So those were a total game changer for me, and they last all night long. They are wonderful, wonderful. What is that? Oh, almost done. I hope it's not a super long video, but almost done. This is my poop kit, which, you know, doesn't sound great, but it's definitely an essential. Another dry bag from Walmart. This was fine. I would probably use it again. I don't know. In my poop kit, I had baby wipes, which are awesome for the obvious and for, you know, wiping off your hands, face, legs, feet, everything at the end of the day. So these are the flushable wipes. I would not bring these again. They kept tearing. I would bring something more substantial that's not going to tear every time you use it. This is deodorant. I did not bring this with me. I actually bought this on our last day when I knew we were going in to shower and stay in a cabin. I didn't know it was our last day at the time, but I was deciding at that point that I wasn't going without deodorant any longer. I don't know if I'll bring deodorant if I go on another backpacking trip or not, because basically you're going to stink no matter what because you're not showering. So I don't know. Anyway, this is one of those little mini rolls of toilet paper you buy like at camping stores and stuff. That's what's left of that. And then, of course, you got your little lightweight, I don't know if it's aluminum or what it is, trowel. And you have to dig your little cat hole 6 inches deep, do your business, and then cover it up. So I'm not crazy about this thing. The kind of soil that we were trying to dig into was very rocky, very, very hard soil to dig into. And this thing just digs into your hand, and I had a really hard time digging holes with this. So I don't know if that's just how it is or if there's a better way to do that or what, but this thing, I've seen people like wrap duct tape around it and stuff to protect their hand. I don't know. I don't know what the secret is to doing that, but that was not easy. Of course, hand sanitizer, that's an absolute must. Next time I will put one in my brain of my pack and one in my poop bag, because I was always looking for this in the place where it wasn't. Ziploc bag to pack out your baby wipes, your dirty baby wipes. That's nice. And then the only other thing I brought was a little thing of baby powder just to keep somewhat fresh every day. And that's pretty much it. I do not have a tent to show you. I used the Nemo Dragonfly 2-person tent that was Heather's. It was absolutely awesome. I completely love that tent. I will probably try to buy that tent at some point. And I think that's it. So hopefully that was somewhat helpful and not too rambling. There is one more thing. So in order to keep, there's 2 more things, sorry. Three more things. In order to keep your contents of your backpack dry, you need to have some kind of pack liner. So from all the videos I watched and all the hikers I follow, everyone highly recommended these Nylofume bags. Well, my Nylofume bag lasted like 2 days, and it got this huge rip all the way down it. When you put your, so that was no good for me. When you put your sleeping bag down in your pack, it goes first, and you have to, like with your fist, just keep shoving it in there, compressing. I can't imagine that my sleeping bag that has no sharp edges on it, or my hand that has no sharp edges, put that big of a hole in that thing. So I don't know how that happened or why it happened, but I will buy, my pack is an Osprey brand, my backpack. I will buy an Osprey pack liner. One made specifically for my pack that is going to be, a much better option for me. That thing was no good at all after a couple days, so it didn't keep anything dry. Then we heard it was going to do a lot of raining, so we were at an outfitter at Neal's Gap. There's a place called Mountain Crossings that's amazing, where they sell like food and all kinds of resupply items, all kinds of hiking gear. I bought a pack cover. So this gigantic plastic bag thing kind of covered my entire backpack. And I guess it worked okay. I don't think I had it adjusted right. You can cinch it down and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it fits down into this little thing. I probably need to take it out because I think it was wet still when I packed it up. Yeah, I probably need to air that out, huh? And it's a self bag, so the bag that it stores in is actually part of the liner. So just so you won't lose that. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't stink, but it's definitely still damp. So yeah, we'll hang that up. And then this is my little pillow. This is my Nemo Philo Elite Luxury Pillow. My daughter and my grandkids and my son-in-law gave me this for my birthday. Not cheap, $60 for this little tiny thing, but it is amazing. Blow it up in a few breaths. You can deflate it a tiny bit if it's too much, too full for you or too firm or whatever. This thing, absolutely perfect. I loved it. So that is everything in my pack. If there's anything I forgot or any questions that you might have, I'm by no means an expert, but I learned a lot. I wish I had the bear can to show you because bear cans are not required in most of the areas we were in, except for certain times of the year, but they are highly recommended by the Appalachian Trail Society. So Heather had 2, so she let me use the bigger one. The bear can is $4.50, and it was about this tall and about maybe that big around. And if you pack them right, you could fit 4 days worth of food in there and snacks and stuff, and your supplies for your coffee and tea and whatever you're having. It took me a while to figure out how to do that because it's a hard plastic can. So you have to kind of line the edges and then fill in the middle and then line the edges and fill in. It took me a while to figure that out, how to best pack it where everything would fit. And opening it was the greatest trick ever. Heather showed me like with a credit card where you slide the card in because there's all these little notches on the lid that don't let you open it easily because it's bear proof. And really hard to do that when your hands are cold and they're dry, they're freezing. And there's this little credit card trick where you can slide the credit card into the notch and then turn the lid and open your can. And I was so proud of myself every morning when I would get that darn thing open. I was like, yes. And then there was one other piece of gear that I used and I bought last minute. I'm so glad I did. It was an Osprey ultra lightweight little fanny pack, and I wore it in the front as a waist pack. I kept my little wallet, ID, money, my car key, my earbuds, any snack I was eating like trail mix or something like that, my glasses, and my phone. So it kept everything right at hand that I needed right away. So that thing was awesome. And then of course when you're in town or when you're at a lodge or a cabin or something and you're walking around doing all the things you need to do, that's all I needed was my little waist pack for, to be able to see, to use my phone, to pay for anything. Yeah. And then I also wore a whistle around my neck that Heather gave me. And I also carried my pepper spray down like in my bra. So never needed either one of those, thank goodness. So anyway, never felt unsafe out there. Spent many days hiking by myself. We hike at different paces. We get out of camp at different times. Heather's faster than me, but she takes longer breaks. I take more breaks, but very short breaks because I don't like to sit around too long. I get really stiff and sore when I do, so I like to keep moving. But yeah, we would always meet up, in the evenings and camp together and stuff. So I never felt unsafe. Met some amazing people on the trail. Met a whole group of trail maintenance workers one day. They are literally hiking miles out there into the Appalachian Trail to keep that trail maintained and safe for hikers. So they had all kinds of crazy looking chains and axes and all kinds of, and they're literally hiking for miles to do that for us. So that's pretty incredible actually. And a lot of people out there, on a journey, dealing with things in life. I met a guy who lost his 13-year-old son suddenly years ago. And every year around his son's birthday, he takes off and hits the trail for a while and tries to kind of process that loss. So a lot of people out there for a lot of different reasons. Like I said, never felt unsafe. Had an amazing time. One of the hardest things I've ever done, but it just makes me want to do it again and do it better and get better at it each time. And,
It was awesome. So anyway, that's my gear review video, and hope I didn't forget anything. All right, hope y'all enjoyed it.